Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the July 21st, 2016 Post Falls Urban Renewal Commission meeting. I'm calling the meeting to order now and like to ask Ms. Fountain if she would call the roll, please.
Chairman Baltzell?
Here.
Carstensen?
Here.
Crosby?
Here.
Malzahn?
Here.
Davis? Here. And Coles has not yet arrived.
Okay, thank you very much. We do have a quorum, so we can move forward. And Commissioner Carstensen, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much for here. I see Commissioner Coles has arrived. Please take note. Okay, under ceremonies, appointments, and announcements, the only thing I have is an announcement, and that is we had 6 candidates that applied for the opening that we have on the commission. And after all 6 were identified and interviewed, the interview committee consisted of Mayor Jacobson, Administrator Enderud, myself, and Commissioner Jamie. And we spent quite a bit of time interviewing each of them and came to a decision. The mayor made a recommendation to the council, and the council approved it on Tuesday night, and that would be Rich Hauser has been selected. He is unable to be here today because he's out of town this week, but he should be raring to go and be with us at our workshop in August. So that's our official announcement. We'll welcome him on workshop day and press on. Okay. Any conflicts to disclose from any of the commissioners on anything that is on the current day's agenda? Hearing none, let's move on to the consent calendar.
Okay, good morning, Chairman DeBaltzell and Commissioners. Item A in the consent calendar is the Commission meeting minutes of June 16th, 2016. Item B is the Finance and Policy Committee minutes of June 27th. Item C is the Commission workshop meeting minutes of July 13th. Item D is payables for this month totaling $171,933.04. Included in the payables is an invoice to the City of Post Falls for the Spokane Street project in the amount of $162,165.12, which will be funded from a loan advance in that amount at Washington Trust Bank. Item E is the bank activity report, which shows total of all funds of $2,941,058.03 and accrued interest for the month of $994.15. Item F is the financial reports as of June 30th that are printed from our in-house QuickBooks accounting system and will be posted to our website as usual. Your approval of the consent calendar will authorize the transfer of $994.15 accrued interest to the general fund and transfer to the INB checking account of $171,933.04 for the general payables. And Mr. Chairman, I would answer any questions.
Any questions, commissioners?
Chairman and Ms. Fountain, could you enlighten us as to the purpose of the check to the City of Post Falls?
It is an advance for the Spencer Street project. There's still an outstanding amount and retainage for that project. So they have submitted that, and we will also have a $75,000 payment to BNSF for the work that they did on the railroad portion of that road.
Thank you. I misheard. I thought you said Spokane Street.
Oh, okay.
That's why I questioned.
Any other questions on the consent calendar? If not, I would ask for do we need a roll call vote?
Yes.
Roll call vote to approve the consent calendar.
I move that the approval of the
Is there a
consent
second?
calendar.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Okay. Roll call, please.
Baltzell?
Aye.
Carstensen?
Aye.
Crosby?
Aye.
Malzahn?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Coles?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Thank you very much. Committee updates, Finance and Policy. Commissioner Crosby?
Chairman, we completed the budget for fiscal year 2017, and reviewed that in a workshop earlier this month, as the commission meeting minutes in the packet reflect, and we're prepared to present the revised final budget for presentation and publication prior to to give the public some time to review it.
Okay, thank you. And that'll be down on item number 8A.
Yes, sir.
Okay, district review. Commissioner Coles?
I have nothing this morning.
Okay. Communications, property, and personnel, Commissioner Carstensen?
Nothing other than the fact of what you stated, that we now will have a full commission with the addition of Rich Hauser coming on board. So,
Okay, thank you.
welcome aboard, Rich.
And thanks to all the candidates that also applied, the other 5. Good candidates and good interviews. And Mr. Hauser will be on station with us then until December 31st of 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Citizen comments. This section of the agenda is reserved for citizens wishing to address the commission regarding an agency-related issue. Comments related to future public hearings should be held for that public hearing, and persons wishing to speak will have 5 minutes. Anybody in the audience that would like to speak? Yay.
Good morning.
Good
Shelley
morning, Shelley.
Underwood, City Administrator for the City of Post Falls. I just wanted to update, I sent Jerry and Diane an email yesterday updating on the council meeting Tuesday night, and the mayor and council wanted me to update the commission that they did discuss de-annexation in the Expo District, and they made a motion to continue to leave that district whole, so there will be no de-annexation process moving forward with that district. I can take any questions if you guys have any.
And now the council then will do a final hearing on the,
There is a zoning request that'll come forward to council the first meeting in August. If that's successful, then there is a subdivision process under new business that'll take place the second meeting in August for that district.
okay. Good. Any other questions, commissioners? Thank you for your
And thank you.
presentation at our workshop and for working with us on that, and thanks to the mayor and the council for their support of our position on that.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. You have a few more minutes if you want to talk about it. Thank you, Shelley. Okay, is there any unfinished business?
None.
I don't know of any either. Now we can go into new business under 8A. And this morning, we're going to discuss the Commission's annual budget for fiscal year 2017, which begins October 1st of 2016 and runs till September 30th of 2017. The proposed budget notice will be published in the Coeur d'Alene Press twice before the public hearing, which will be held at the Commission meeting to be held in this room at Post Falls City Hall at 8:00 a.m. on Thursday, August 18th, 2016. Public comment will be taken at that time. And at this time, that we would hear from Commissioner Crosby, our Finance Chairman and Treasurer.
Is that good? Good morning, Chairman and Commission members. Staff and members of the Finance Committee, Commissioner Malzahn and Commissioner Coles, have completed our recommended fiscal year 2017 budget for the agency, and we present that for your review and consideration. Under revenues, each urban renewal district created by the City of Post Falls and administered by the agency has a base tax rate established and in effect at the time the district is created. That base rate continues to be collected by the taxing entities, the county, city, the highway district, etc., over the life of the district. However, as the district is improved and experiences new construction and increases in land value due to public improvements, the incremental tax created by those improvements, known as tax increment, tax in excess of the base tax, is allocated to the Urban Renewal Agency to pay for the public improvements that have been made within the district and to support such growth, primarily roads, water, and sewer line extensions and related improvements. In most cases, the tax increment received by the agency is used to reimburse proponents who have completed and paid for the improvements and dedicated them to the city prior to reimbursement. In cases where they involve truly public improvements, i.e. improvements that the agency and the city cooperate on, such as the Greens Ferry overpass, and the tax increment is used to pay for those improvements or repay bonds issued to fund those improvements issued by the Urban Renewal Agency. The projected tax revenues for 2017, as shown in this section of the budget, are based on the assessed values of properties located within each of our urban renewal districts multiplied by the levy rates. Taxing entities have not set levy rates for 2017, so we've used last year's rates to be conservative. You will note that the projected tax increments for all of our districts except Expo and East Post Falls are lower than last year. This results from lower assessed values within those districts. General fund transfer, which we had last year in the amount of $85,000 to fund the agency's operations, we do not anticipate needing to transfer any funds from the general fund in fiscal year 2017. Interest income and interest has been projected at 1.25% on all CDs and other investments that the agency has with local financial institutions, and on interest earnings paid by the state pool where we invest our capital improvement funds and a portion of our general fund. Maturing CDs are projected to be renewed for terms of 12 to 24 months. Carryover funds shown in this section. This is shown, we show carryover funds for City Center, East Post Falls, and Expo. These are tax increment receipts that the agency has received but is not yet paid out for public improvements in those districts, primarily because the improvements called for in the plan have not been completed or are still under review to ensure that they meet the plan and the city's requirements before they are approved. These saved funds are shown in the expense section of the budget under designated funds. Since they are designated for public improvements within each of those districts and will be spent as those improvements are completed. Total revenues projected in the fiscal year 2017 budget are $5,251,244, which is slightly lower than our projected revenues for fiscal year 2016. Are there any questions on revenues? On expenditures, proponent reimbursements are projected expenditures of accrued tax increment, which are forecast based on the completion of public improvements set forth in each of the urban renewal plans for each district. 40% of the funds that are designated under this category are to repay debt that the agency incurred to facilitate public improvements in the East Post Falls District, the Greens Ferry overpass, and Spencer Street, and City Center street improvements to Spokane Street. Other funds assume the completion of specific public improvements which were set forth in the district plan. If those improvements are completed in fiscal year 2017, all or part of those tax increment funds will be paid out upon acceptance of those improvements by the agency and the city and the dedication of those improvements to the city. Funds will not be paid out until those public improvements are completed, accepted, and dedicated. If that does not occur in fiscal year 2017, those tax increment dollars will be carried over to a future budget period and shown in the agency's future budgets. Agency operating expenses detailed in the last section of the budget are based on historical expenses and staff attrition in July, as of July of this year. The audit is projected to increase by $250 based on an estimate from our auditors as we finish most of our construction contracts in this incoming fiscal year and repay debt for Greens Ferry, Spencer Street, and Spokane. This expense is anticipated to be reduced in the future. The increase in legal advertising is based on standard reporting requirements required by the urban renewal legislation and new reports we are now required to post in local newspapers associated with the changes made to the urban renewal legislation passed by the legislature this past session, which took effect this month. Staff salaries and related expenses have been reduced significantly based on staff attrition. Engineering services assume potential public improvement construction in East Post Falls, Center Point, and Expo. Contingency has been increased from $5,000 to $6,000. In this budget, the Post Falls Urban Renewal Agency is projecting a reduction in its operating expenses from its fiscal year 2016 estimated operating budget of $212,381 to an estimated fiscal year 2017 operating budget of $109,391, a reduction of 51%. I dare say there's no other governmental agency in Kootenai County that can project that kind of a reduction in operating. The budget also projects that the agency will be able to transfer, rather than withdraw, $32,610 back to our general fund from savings and operations. This contrasts with our budget in 2016, which projected a requirement to transfer $85,380 from the general fund to meet projected operating expenses. As of 6/30/2016, the agency's general fund balance was $339,678.61 and includes the balances in our checking account, our money market account, and those funds invested with the state treasurer's office in the local government investment pool. Projected fiscal year 2017 proponent and debt payments of $5,109,243 plus projected operating expenses of $109,391 and a transfer back to the general fund of $36,610 result in projected operating expenses of $5,251,244, which is equal to our projected revenues, resulting in a balanced budget. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Do you have any questions from any of the commissioners at this time? If not, I will entertain a motion to tentatively approve the fiscal year 2017 budget and allow staff to publish notice of the public hearing in the Coeur d'Alene Press as we commented on earlier.
So move.
And second. Been moved and seconded to go ahead and approve the preliminary tentative budget and go forward with the notice of public hearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. See none, motion carried. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Commissioner Crosby and Finance Committee. Appreciate your work, and Diane for what you've done in putting this together. The budget for next year looks pretty darn healthy, and I think it's really going to be a good year for us. Staff report and updates. Anything additional you'd like to add?
I am just working, with JUB and R.L. Wadsworth and the City of Post Falls to get the punch list completed on the Greens Ferry overpass. So it's my goal to have that completed by fiscal year end. So we'll see where we get with that.
Are we getting the right kind of response to be able to wrap up some of these issues? Because some of them have been tailing along for quite a while.
And they have been, Mike Worrell from JUB was going to contact Bill Melvin today and go through the punch list item by item with him and try to get everything squared away so that they can approach RLW and then find out when that work will be completed.
I guess I'm just wondering, is there a discrepancy between what the contractor thinks needs to be done and what the city thinks needs to be done, or what exactly is the...
I'm not sure if the delay is because they've moved out of the area, and the biggest completion that they have to do is the epoxy on the bridge deck itself, which is quite significant, and that's the major thing that needs to be cleaned up. And then just with the other ones, I think they just have to hire somebody to come in and do that work.
Yeah, all the more reason to keep the retainage until that gets done, but we do need to get that finished. Public doesn't know too much. They don't notice it when they drive over the bridge, but they are significant items that need to be accomplished. So if there's anything we can do as a commission beyond that, let us know. But as long as the city and JUB are working with
Right.
RLW, I guess that's all
I'll
you
keep
can
you
do.
posted.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, anything else?
And that's all I have.
That's all you have. Very good. Thank you, and appreciate your good work. Commissioner comments?
Chairman, I'd just like to echo what Commissioner Carstensen said and welcome Rich Hauser to the commission.
Thank you. Anybody else? No, it's pretty quiet today. Okay. Comments from myself is just, we appreciate, and I think we said this before, the work that Paula did while she was a commissioner, and we know that Rich will fill that role in a wonderful way, and we look forward to having him on the team, and also to continue working with Shelley and the city staff and the mayor and council as we continue on moving into the new fiscal year shortly. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate all the support from all the commissioner members and staff. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move we adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
Is there a second? Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are adjourned.